why would the audience go to a theatre unless they're getting an experience?
Yeah.
So either the film is a little larger than life, it's different, or it kind of, is away from what you're watching on OTT platforms. So I think I realized that, we end up limiting our process and saying this doesn't work for me. And I feel like at times we should just flow and let go, try something different. Even if it doesn't work, it's okay. The day it does work, it's going to create something magical. It is very exciting. It's also exciting to reunite with him after like 7 years. It is like, obviously he's had a whole journey of his till now. I've had my own. I think we're two different people from what we started at.
Hi guys, this is Himesh and welcome to Pink Villa. Today we have with us someone who is easily the busiest actor of Bollywood today, with at least half a dozen films under her kitty. She just delivered a fantastic performance in Mimmi and now she is gearing up for Hum Do Hamare Do. Welcome to Pink Villa, Preeti. It's lovely having you here.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. So first question, from Bareli Ki Barfi to Mimmi, you have done so many small town films and now we are gearing up for Hum Do Hamare Do. What draws you to this genre?
So Hum Do Hamare Do is not really a small town film. It's based in Chandigarh, which is not really a small town.
Yeah.
So it takes me away from the small town world to a slightly more urban dunya. What drew me to this film was actually it's one line where this guy is adopting parents, where I just felt like it was so different and so unique, and it talks about family. It talks about the fact that we don't really get to choose our parents and our family, and we're born into that. So what about this guy who ends up actually adopting parents for this girl? And the chaos also that happens, and the whole angle of Paresh sir and Ratna ma'am, and their love story at some point and all of that. So I think it just was a very, very interesting world, and it's funny, but at the same time it's got these moments that's going to really feel like family wali feeling and that warmth. So that's what I felt when I heard the script.
And like you said, the film has multiple subtracts and layers, from your and Rajkumar Rao's love story to Paresh sir and Ratna ma'am's love story. Could you tell us something about these two parallel tracks which are running in the film?
It is very interesting because Raj obviously doesn't have parents, and I'm this girl who I'm one of those girls who wants to get married into a sweet family. I dream of marrying a family and not just a guy. And she wants a sweet sea family and a pyara sa doggy. That's her brief, and she's been that's her dream, and he ends up like being in this fix where he's like, I love this girl, but she wants to have a family. I don't have a family. So he goes to the extent of adopting parents. And Paresh sir's character has been in love with Ratna ma'am's character since a very, very long time, and obviously for some reasons they couldn't be together, and his condition is that the only way I'm going to do this if you get her. And when she comes on board, the friction that happens between them and how he's still feeling like he wants to like get her in his life, and the chaos that happens because of that. In the trailer you do see like he's almost like proposing her. So that in front of me, and I feel like one second they are married, why is he doing that? So there's a lot of chaos in it, which is very, very funny to see. There's a lot of situational humor. I love situational comedy. I've done a few of them. I've done Luka Chuppi. Mimi had many such scenes which was like situational comedy.
Correct. And the love stories of someone who is playing parents has this very cute vibe to it. We saw it in Golmaal 1 where there was a track of Paresh sir, and then we saw in, I think, Golmaal 3 where Mithun sir and Ratna ma'am had, and now over here. Do you think this is something which is actually one of the unique points? Because there are films which you can count on our fingers which have these kind of subtracts which attracts the family audience.
Yeah, absolutely. I sometimes I used to joke around with our director and Dino also. I think their love story is way more interesting. Because I think for me it's way more interesting to watch that couple, and their love story, and how they how he's proposing, and how he's like, there's one scene where she's like looking into the mirror and she's just adjusting her bindi, and he kind of is looking at her and he maros a line. So I think to watch them romance is way more interesting sometimes to watch a young couple, because we've seen like so many of this. So yeah, I think my favorite romantic scenes in the film are also like, some of them are theirs, which are like really interesting.
And from Lukka Chuppi to Mimmi and now Hum Do, are you looking for a hat trick with Dino?
Hat trick with Dino? Oh, hui nahi ab tak.
This is the third film. I think Lukka Chuppi was the first. Yeah.
So we've also had our share of flops in the middle, which we'll not talk about, which is great. But yeah, I mean, I hope this film, because it has all the Maddock kind of ingredients, I would say, which is, you know, a different concept and a heartwarming film, which is funny, but at the same time says something very important. So yeah, I hope this becomes the hat trick.
Correct. And you know, the film is premiering on Hotstar, but given the trailer and the song, and it has that theatrical family vibe. Even Mimmi, when we watched it, we were like, this is one film which would have definitely done well in theaters.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, you know, थोड़ा ऐसा upset कि theater में ये दोनों फिल्में नहीं है, because you know they are actually appealing to a wide section of audiences?
I mean, yeah, there's a part of me that kind of feels I wish Mimmi had also come in theaters, but I think we need to adapt to the new normal, and also I believe that every film has its destiny. And I'm just glad that Mimmi got the love that it deserved, even though it came on OTT. And the good thing about OTT is that the love is still pouring in. You know, like when a film releases in theaters, usually it's like for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you kind of feel it, and then it's kind of fizzled and something else releases. Here there are still people all across the world, you know, who are still watching the film, and the love is still pouring in. So everything has pros and cons of it. I'm just happy that it got the love that it deserved. Same way I feel like for this film as well. Yes, theaters are opening, but they have opened multiple times, and you know, things have not really moved very well. So this is a film which I think you know, will be enjoyed by families together on Diwali. And there are so many times, you know, on Diwali you want to stay at home and watch something together, and this is like that family film which you can watch together, and it's heartwarming, it gives you a lot of laughs, it's just beautiful and nice to just watch in your cozy razai and, you know, have popcorns with your family and like enjoy.
Correct.
So I just hope that it gets the love that, you know, it should get.
And has your script choice in any way changed over this pandemic? Because you know, there are, like, we have spoken to actors who have said that now when we go for narrations, in the first meeting itself we are like, ये OTT के लिए है कि theater के लिए है, accordingly.
वो तो थोड़ा आता ही है, you know. See, today when there's so much content which is out there, obviously you want to why would the audience go to a theater unless they're getting an experience? So either the film is a little larger than life, you know, it's different, or it kind of, you know, is away from what you're watching on OTT platforms. So I don't know if my script choices have changed, but I think as you evolve, you know, with the content that you keep watching, that you're, you know, thrown, that are thrown at you, you subconsciously start liking different kind of content. So somewhere the same monotonous stuff that you've already done before, seen before, it doesn't excite you anymore. So I think subconsciously you start changing, you know, and evolving in a way in your script choices. But अभी तक मैं ऐसे नहीं सोचूं कि ये थिएटर पे आएगी या नहीं. I think ये ज़्यादा प्रोड्यूसर सोचते हैं कि ये थिएटर वाली फिल्म है या नहीं है. But थिएटर्स खुले तो अभी पहले लोग जाएं तो थिएटर, उसके बाद में बात करते हैं.
And you know, as an actress, how difficult is it to switch from one film to another in such short span? You have so many films lined up. It's actually like from one set to another, from that to another.
Honestly, it is nerve-wracking, okay, at times, because I realized that I am doing these back-to-back different films, but what happens is sometimes when your prep time is what you have to let go of. You know, it kind of really makes me nervous at times because I haven't like really prepped for a particular role. I haven't done enough readings that I would want to do, you know. And because of the pandemic also, everything, all the schedules were so like warped and like, you know, we didn't have control over things. So prep time is what first gets chopped and that's very important for actors. So of course when I'm jumping, like when I was shooting for Bachchan Pandey, there are some films that require more prep, there are some films that you feel like you can do without that much prep. A film like Mimmi required a lot of prep and I had to give it that. Bachchan Pandey was, the character was more urban, it didn't need me to have so much prep, there was no dialect and all. Bhedia again was very different world. Adipurush is a very different world, and I literally have like jumped from one to the other to the other. So yeah, sometimes you have to like get yourself back like a day before, 2 days before. What I do is I kind of start reading the script all over again.
Okay.
You know, because at least to get into the world of that film, like I feel like from Bhedia to Adipurush to back to Bhedia to then Adipurush, it's like sometimes you're like, I hope I'm not doing what I'm doing in that film right now, you know, subconsciously.
Yeah.
So you have to keep yourself in check. It is a little nerve-wracking, but that thrill is kind of keeps you on your toes, you know, a little bit.
And of all the characters you have played, what is the biggest takeaway, if you have to name one character and the biggest takeaway from that?
Takeaway in the sense?
Like you know, one characteristics that you felt that I wish I had this, or one characteristic that you imbibed in yourself after playing that. Is there any character?
I don't think we as actors realize, but we end up giving every character a lot and subconsciously taking something from the character as well. I think takeaway has been more as an actor rather than taking from the character. I think like in case of Mimi, I realized while I was shooting and prepping, and you know, there was so much that went into that film, so much of me that went into that film, that I kind of in moments realized that I did realize that prep is very important. And the fact that I don't want to limit my process. You know, sometimes we as actors think that, okay, you know, this is how I usually approach a scene and this is how I perform. Like, I had this thing in my mind that, you know, I can't go back to my emotional memory, think about something sad that has happened in my life and cry here. You know, that doesn't work for me. It's never worked for me. I used to hear so many people say, you know, she broke down in the scene and then after cut also she kept crying. And it never used to happen with me. Like I would like start laughing or I would like be back to normal suddenly, ki, haan, take dikhao and all. So for me, it was like, that's not how I function. I had in my head. In Mimi, there was one portion, you know, when I tear the posters and I put powder on my face, that whole bit, that breakdown was like a peak breakdown of hers. And I kind of tried something, you know, I kind of tried going back to my emotional memory and sort of psyching myself, seeing some images, seeing some things that had happened in my life, which made me emotional. And I was like, okay, let me try this. And I did that, and I was feeling like a lump in my throat. I was feeling emotional. But then they called me for this shot. And while I was walking from the base to the set, suddenly it all vanished. And I was like, oh shit, this is not working. You know, I'm not feeling it only. Then I was like, okay, no, you know, let's go back to what I do. Let me think about Mimi. Let me think how she's thinking, and I'll perform. And when I started performing, I screamed in a bit. And then I don't know what happened. I started crying and they said cut and I kept crying. I just couldn't stop. And that happened for the first time and I was shocked. Like I was crying and I was shocked, like how am I crying? You know, so I think that psyching myself, doing something maybe struck some chord inside, you know, which everything came out like while I was performing. So I think I realized that, you know, we end up limiting our process and saying this doesn't work for me. And I feel like at times we should just flow and let go, try something different. Even if it doesn't work, it's okay. The day it does work, it's going to create something magical.
True, yeah. And I think that happened with Mimi.
Yeah, so after that I realized that, acha, ye bhi ho sakta hai, you know, mere saath, I can do this.
True.
Yeah.
And Kriti, you know, you played a traditional character in Panipat and you were fantastic in that film.
Thank you.
Like I loved you in the climax where the entire action unfolds and everything. And now you're gearing up for Adipurush with Prabhas, Om Raut, Saif Ali Khan.
Yeah.
You have shot for it, I believe, for 4-5 months. How has that journey been so far?
Very, very, I think it's been a learning set, I would say. It's something that I'm doing for the first time. By that I mean the kind of shoot it is. It is all chroma, it's all, you know, VFX heavy, blue screen, less ambience, imagination, you know, to another level, where I know through the director what he's going to create and what, you know, so if I'm looking at something, that thing is not there, but I have to imagine, you know, and I think that is a little bit of the future of our industry. That's how it's going to eventually happen. But as an actor, I'm so used to having ambience. I'm so used to having like actors here, you know, next to me.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to imagine, okay, there's a creature there, you know, and react to that creature without really having it there. So I think the whole process of this filming has been a learning experience for me. It's different from anything I have done before. Obviously, the character that I'm playing and the story that we're telling is so special, and there's so much responsibility that comes with it, that, you know, you realize as an actor that you have a certain boundary that you can play within. You know, you can't cross that boundary. You can't. It's not an imaginative character that I can add anything to. You know, we all kind of relate to that character. We already know a little bit. You know, so yes, I have to make my own version of her. But do it in obviously the most respectful manner within the boundaries that I have. So that also is exciting. It's different, but challenging at the same time.
And then you are reuniting with Tiger on Heropanti,
yes.
on Ganpat after
yes,
Heropanti.
Yes.
You are prepping for it. We have seen some videos of.
I'm prepping for it. I was prepping for it. Let's say that.
How is that going, and how exciting is that? Because I think that's your first action film,
proper
action film.
Yeah. It is very exciting. It's also exciting to reunite with him after like 7 years. It is like, you know, obviously he's had a whole journey of his till now. I've had my own. I think we're two different people from what we started at, you know, and as persons, as people, and as actors also. You know, I'm sure we're very different. I'm very different. I'm sure he's also very different. And we've both grown and evolved in our own ways. So it's just going to be exciting to now do a scene and see what has changed. I'm looking forward to that. And of course, action is definitely his forte, which is not mine. But I always wanted to do action. So I'm just glad I'm getting to do it in this film. It's a very different, unique, experimental, futuristic sort of a world. Which doesn't have a reference point, and that's what's exciting about it. I just started prepping while he's putting all these crazy videos on Instagram of Heropanti set of all the flips and all the action that he's already doing like calmly in a chilled manner. And here I just started prepping and I've strained my knee and it's a bummer, but yeah, I feel sometimes I want to hold him back and say, wait for me to at least get 10 steps ahead. But it's going to be fun. I mean, he's a sport, yeah.
But is this like a starting point for you before doing an out-and-out solo action film?
Could be.
We are hearing, that's why I was asking, so yeah.
It could be. I would love to do an action film. Yeah.
Okay, and there are two rumors that are around your future subjects that are going on. There is one film with Vicky which you are doing apparently, and yeah.
Which film?
There's a report of Rehna Hai Tere Dil Mein that.
See, rumors, now you're only calling them rumors, so I should not say anything only.
Them, so.
I should not say anything only. But right now, there are already so many projects that I am talking about that the ones that have not been announced, I shouldn't talk about. So we'll get there when things are announced, and whichever are true and whichever are not, you'll get to know.
Correct. And Kriti, we have two questions from Pinkula Rooms your fans have asked you. So first one is from Shikha. Bareli Ki Barfi or Mimmi, which film do you hold closer to your heart and why?
That's a very tough one, guys. Why do you want to choose always? Choose between this actor, that actor. Why? You know, I just feel like, honestly, both these films have been sort of like milestones in my career, which, you know, if tomorrow people talk about my work, I'm sure these two are going to be mentioned for sure. You know, and so I don't think I can choose like that. I might be a little more biased towards Mimmi because it's been more recent, it's been more on my shoulders, of course. So there's a different kind of journey that you have with those kind of films. But I think Bareli Ki Barfi broke that mold, you know, for me, where people for the first time kind of noticed, you know, performance overlooks. And series of small town films came my way after I did Bareli Ki Barfi. So I think I would hold both really, really close to my heart because they have been very important in my journey and they've made me who I am today.
Okay. And next one is from Akansha. Can you give one piece of advice to someone who wants to make it in the industry and has no idea where to start from?
There are so many things, but firstly I would just say that know why you're doing what you're doing. Are you like really passionate about acting? Are you doing it for fame? What is your purpose for it? Secondly, just work really, really hard and believe in yourself. And in that way, while you're getting to your dreams, there will be a lot of people who will tell you you can't do it. There will be a lot of people who will tell you it's too big a dream. There's so many people struggling. Have that belief in yourself, and you need to learn to have a filter. So work really hard in whatever you're doing, because if you're not working hard, there is someone else who is. So I think I just give it to that and just follow your gut feeling.
And last question before signing off, what does your slate look from here on? You have wrapped up Bachchan Pandey, you have I think almost done shooting for Adipurush as well.
So I've wrapped up Bhedia also.
And you have wrapped up Bhedia as well. So what does your...
So I'm going to be shooting my last leg of Adipurush now, actually from tomorrow. And then I move to UK, where I joined Tiger for Ganpat. So that's there as of now, and then there are quite a few releases, I hope, which happen. I'm really looking forward to theatres opening and normalizing, and people actually going and having a full-on theatrical experience.
Yeah, I think that's Bachchan Pandey, which will be the big one in theatres. So,
I hope so, yeah. The release has been announced, the dubbing has started, so it just feels like it's all coming to reality.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Kriti. It was lovely talking to you, and wish you all the best for
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi guys, if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to Pinkvilla.